Hey, I didn't know my guest dog for a long. He don't age, right? I didn't know this dude for his. I want to say early 20s, but before I even get there, man, listen. I call a legend, dog. A legend to me, dog. From LA. This dude is LA. Y'all please get up for Les one time. Hey, in the comments, what's up, Les? What's up, LA?
Happy to be here, big dog.
I was excited to have you, bro.
Man, I'm super excited you invited me, and we just tapped in and able to make this happen.
First of all, I just seen Les. I did my premiere. And for my the special, and Les came. And it's like some people come like okay, they cool, they coming. Les, I turned around and seen Les. It was like, hey man, like big smile. Like I'm probably a person that like when I'm out and I'm working, I'm real like just like.
Mean looking.
Yeah, I could be. You know what I mean? Like boom, boom, like whatever. But like big smile when I seen you. It was like man, I felt good. You being. I was like, dude, I gotta get you on the podcast. And so you here. Okay, this is how I met Les. Okay. Now when I tell you, to me, the legend of Les is like a loyal, solid dude. Like, and I want to sprinkle really LA, but like from an educational standpoint, I say like you educate niggas about LA. It ain't like you ain't never been like, I'm from LA, where you from? It's like, hey, see it. Like, and I always.
I can tell you're not from here.
Yeah. Dog, when I met you, it was to do a mutual friend. And like, I remember one time we was working on something. And look, Les, like his shoe was untied. Now look, I got friends I grew up with. Right from Fort. I love y'all. Right, Vincent, Rodney, Chris, Lab, Mo. I don't forget nobody. Deontay, Allison. I love all y'all. Right. His shoe was untied, and Les was like, "Hold on," right? And like, the room stopped, right? Like, and then he was like, tied his shoe. I remember it was like I tell this man, this happened probably like 14 years ago, could be. And I tell him, I was like, that moment, I was like, oh, this is a solid dude. Like he getting on his knee to tie his homeboy shoe. I remember like thinking like, dog, he tying a shoe. It was like, no like arrogance, like I'm gonna tie this dude's shoe because he need it.
And just for context,
you
know what I mean? This was a homie who was about to be on TV for something.
Because I make it seem like we just gonna go to the park.
Let me tie your shoe for you, big dog. I got you.
I'll say this: it was a big moment. And then you was like, hold on, I'll make sure you straight.
Yeah, because I'm about to have you go on camera looking like you got a string on your shirt or so. I'm the type of person to tell you something. Hey, bro, you got something on your face. Hey, you got. Or hey, you might wanna, you know what I'm saying? So it was like that,
It's like I don't know what to call. I don't want to say a Rubik's Cube, but like a lot of things about you that like are like dope. So it's like that's a part about you. Like you really street smart, right? And I mean that in the most positive way because it's not like I'm not saying like you this and that, like you streets wise, like you know what I mean? Very intelligent. You read a lot. Like an awful lot, and like you into crypto very early. Like I don't know, I just got to get to this, man. I got to get to. I was waiting in the podcast to like get to this, dog. It's 2020, right? And Les hits me like, now listen, Les is like the younger homie who is very intelligent, and like how some people be like always got an idea, like, hey man, I got this idea for a business, or hey man, this is a pyramid scheme, da da da, right? And then you be like, when Les hit your phone. Les has done the thorough research to the T.
Yep.
And I remember when crypto was new, Bitcoin was so new. Adrian, I hate myself. Bitcoin was so new, and I was kind of going through it, not kind of, like in the mixed part going through a divorce. And you was like, Sydney.
But your bread was up, though.
Yes.
Okay.
And you was like, Sydney, you said, it's a thing called Bitcoin. Now listen to me. It's not real money. It's like internet money.
Yep, digital money.
Digital money. And it's going to be the thing of the future. Everything is going to be digital right now. And I was like, yeah. And you were like, yes, I think you should invest in it right now. And I was like, so what is it? Right. You was like, Sydney, it's Bitcoin. I've done it. I think you should get in now.
I'll pull up on you.
I'll explain. And look, I'm like looking at my life like, not right now.
Because you up too. You rich.
Listen.
You got money. I don't need it. I'm good.
And I was like, not right now, right? And then I look at Bitcoin now.
Bro, it's, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want bread. Everybody don't want to study what to do with the bread and how it works. You got it from your craft, from your hustle, from your grind, but you got to tuck that bread. You got to put it in a vehicle that's going to keep earning, that's going to keep doubling, that's going to keep making more. You know what I'm saying?
What got you into like wanting to learn the knowledge of that? Because to me, you've always been like, and not, I don't know if inquisitive is the right word, but like always a book. Like my days like Look it up. Look it up. That's my. We come from both old parents. Like, look it up. My dad. How you spell that? Go look in the dictionary. You're the key of like you do that. You be like, let me look up something. Let me study, and then like you learn a lot about something.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's a good point. I feel like my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? I have older brothers, older homies, and I would constantly have people trying to give me advice or say, okay, do it like this or whatever, and I would go do that, and it wouldn't work, and I would come back like, hey, bro, you said, oh, you saying you didn't say that? You said you had said do something. Oh, no, okay. And I would just like, realize that from books, it's people who actually did it. It's the experts. And so it's like, I'm just going to learn from him. I'm going to take the time from him. And it's just a habit of, getting the source of information from a real reputable, valid source, somebody who really did it, and being able to grow up within the city. You say street smart because I had homies outside. You know what I'm saying? My family, like.
Dog, you like a walking voiceover for an LA dude. Because I was walking outside, the sun was rising. I was like, hello, son. It's me, Les, LA native.
Man, my parents kept me, I went to private school within the city, but I still lived in the city. I grew up right by the Crenshaw Mall. I got to play sports, Van Ness, Baldwin, all different, Jim Gilliam within the city, and meet kids who just from the city, and you start picking up that LA-ness, yeah, bro. But you asked me about like reading and that information. It just, I don't know, like, I always
like what perked your mind on Bitcoin? It was like,
oh, you said investing. At the time, what really got me in investing early, so I had an older cousin who was an orthopedic surgeon, right? And
that face let me know this story's finna take a turn.
No.
He's now on crack.
Yeah. He did pass away though. Oh, you know what I mean? So there you go, comedian. It's all good. But he ended up passing away. He had some health issues like autoimmune disease and whatnot. However, when I was graduating college, we would talk about in school. He said, "Yo, if you get a 4.0, I'll get you any car you want to." So I had dreams of a Bentley for like a half a semester.
That's the work. I was like, "Damn, this is hard." How much for Honda? What grade I gotta get for Honda?
Yo, for real. Like, yo, can we get like a mid tier? What about a 3.2 BMW? Like, nah. It's like, all right. And so, but I, kept studying, graduated school, and he was like, as my graduation gift, he rented a Rolls Royce for me to have a driver drive in. Yeah, bro.
At high school?
No, college graduation gift, like college graduation gift. Because what his point was, it's like, hey, bro, you in school?
Hold on, bro.
Okay,
stop.
Talk about it.
Don't flow. Like, no, it was Rolls Royce for my graduation. No, but what his point was, that's amazing.
No, it was
that's
fire.
Amazing.
But mind you, bro, he
now look, was it like MTV? Like he was like, come outside, and it was like a Rolls Royce on a bow. Like
first of all, it was a rental for the day. It did not come with a key that said, go ahead, go crazy, hit Hollywood and pick them all. But you had
a driver.
I had a driver and a non-black driver. So it was like,
amazing,
you, bro.
Look, I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, that's amazing when it's like, okay, go ahead.
Bro, and mind you, I'm early 20s, fresh out of college. I got a business degree, Cal State Northridge. Shout out the Matadors. He pulls up, after graduation. So, and I already live in the Valley, so I don't need the ride to get to campus.
Right.
Go to graduate, go through the whole ceremony. Family is fire, and then we leave. And I never been in a Rolls Royce before, so I hopped in a Rolls Royce in the back, open the door for me. Carpets are mink, I'm saying, take my shoes off. I'm just in the back, just going through the experience. Like, wow.
Degree, just the
degree. Like, damn, this is because what his point was, you in school to learn, you in school to build your skills up, to get ready for this world. But as soon as you graduate, like, you in the real world, bro. So like, it ain't no more. Oh yeah, no. You in the real world now. So what you on? And so the experience of the Rolls Royce showed me there was different paths. You know what I'm saying? You're not here yet. However, you can buckle down and figure out how to get to this place of wealth, or you can just be happy with a degree and start doing whatever you want to. And so me, naturally, my whole family, who's everybody came to celebrate. Where do you want to go eat? What you want to do? And so, I hop off of Sepulveda, took the Rolls Royce to IHOP.
Are you serious?
Yes, bro. Like, growing up in LA, you have certain just places to do. So like, you might go out, have a fun night, and then, all right, we about to go eat. So everybody go to IHOP, or everybody go to Denny's. And so for me, I'm, especially at that time, the fancy, cool restaurants sound cool. Yeah. But like, man, we going to IHOP, bro. Like, I want some pancakes. I had an accomplishment. So now everybody going to IHOP. Like, so Had the Rolls Royce at IHOP off of Sepulveda, Manchester, in the city. Got to ride around. But so after that, I was telling him thank you. We sat and talked, and he was like, here's your graduation gift. And gave me $2,500. He said, now I set you up with a financial advisor. The financial was called Edward Jones was the company. He said, now you can sit with your finance. He said, people, also, side note, he's like, people with bread have financial advisors. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you are not in an industry that is finance. Like if you don't work as a financial broker or a trader or whatever, because like we were talking about your skill, you know what I'm saying, is comedy. That brings you your wealth. However, now with all this bread, what do I do with it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so with him, he gave me $2,500, had me the financial advisor. He's like, yo, you can trick it off. You can go shopping. You can go on vacay. You can go hang with some girls. You can do whatever you want to do with it. And so for me, I just chose to invest it. And at the time, I bought Nike, Google, and Apple, and started to talk with the financial advisor, read my own books to educate myself. And the idea of
what books were you reading?
At the time, I was huge. So in college, I was huge on Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is the founding father of the idea of how to attain success. Meaning, in the early 1930s, Napoleon Hill was writing pamphlets on the idea of just how to gain success. There was a man by the name of Andrew Carnegie, who was one of the original wealthiest men in the world. At the time, Andrew Carnegie he identified Napoleon Hill. It's like, yo, I see what you want, bro. You trying to figure out success. You trying to write that for the people. I'm going to bring you under my wing, and now we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to set you up. So now Andrew Carnegie set up Napoleon to go meet with the Rockefeller family, the Rothschild family, all the other wealthy families of their time. And from Napoleon being around them, he would ask them real questions about wealth, about attaining success, about happiness, about family dynamics. And he would start putting that into his writings. So I would study Napoleon. Napoleon Hill, he has a friend, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He has Napoleon Hill's Golden Rules, Outwitting the Devil, several books he started. So I listened to him. Another author named Brian Tracy in the self-help book. He had one in the self-help space. He had a super pivotal, I would do audiobooks a lot too. I would read it, and I'd also do audiobooks.
So you, okay, talk your shit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I'll put these on my headphones.
Yeah, no, because it's not just about sitting, thumbing through pages. It just depends on, side note, it's your learning style. Most people have 3 learning styles. They like to learn with their hands being shown, reading, so audio, visual, kinesthetic. Kinesthetic with your hands and stuff.
Yeah. You see me try to act like, yeah, kinesthetic.
Yeah, I see you look on the words like, yeah, I'm with you, but you lost me. And so yeah, bro, even like when I'm riding around in my car back then, I would just listen to audiobooks. I listen to music sometimes, mostly audiobooks, because it's like a cheat code where I got to drive where I'm going anyway. And so especially if I don't need to get in like a certain vibe where I'm pulling up to, I'm listening to an audiobook, bro. I'm getting information. And so that's part of what I was doing. But with the money, I just started investing back then. And then from seeing how the money would slowly grow with stocks, it made me want to learn how to do it on a larger level, and gave me the incentive to read additional books or ask certain questions and whatnot. And I also did internships, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
in college, like I was in the environment, you know what I mean? So I got to see firsthand what it's like, what it looks like from other cultures, other ethnicities, just with bread, knowledge, and education.
I feel like watching you, like I've watched you be an assistant. I've watched you like work, like you should, like your resume is solid. Yeah. Like you was working as an assistant. I was like, okay, cool, right? Solid, do your thing, right? But I could tell. It's like you could tell when somebody here to pick up information because they finna do bigger things. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's always been my perception of you, and kind of like low key, I have told you, in so many words, like this dude is going to do big things.
Thank you,
right?
Bro. Thank you, bro.
You work for. Listen. You impressed me with like, stuff like, you played, sports. You was dope. You know what I mean? Off gate.
He's going to gloss over that.
Yeah,
huh?
like, I like being really good at sport. Like, to me, it's like, that's really dope. Like, you was so really super solid at baseball. But then you worked for Will Smith Company.
I did.
That was dope.
I did.
Like, you worked with him in a super dope capacity. Listen, like, your resume, like, you over here talking about finance and all this other stuff, but, like, your resume is like you could tell you go places, get the knowledge. Go places, get the knowledge, get the knowledge. You know what I mean? So it's like, and now, talk about where state of mind you in now.
I got you, yeah. So just off top, it's a quote by, back in Greek philosophy, early Greek times, Aristotle was a philosopher. He said, excellence is not a singular act, for you are what you...
Yeah. No, I know it.
You are what you
do. Yeah, do.
Repeatedly do.
Yeah, repeatedly do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so, you funny, dog. It's the marathon, you know what I mean? You literally, so like you said about my career, my jobs, you can't just start at the top. You know what I'm saying? You got to really you got to work your way through, and upon each step, you should be taking jewels and gems and using it for yourself. So working for Will Smith, man, like, incredible opportunity. He is...
That's the reason. Will Smith is the reason I wanted to get entertainment.
Bro.
Like, I used to literally watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and people are like, what made you do comedy? Like, comedy wasn't the original goal, but like,
yeah,
I should sit up more, my bad. But like, what originally really made me want to do entertainment, period, was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, watching Bad Boys. I was like, I haven't met him.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like I've seen him at a Laker game years ago, like from afar. Like, I think that's the one person, him and probably like maybe 2-3 people, I would literally be like starstruck still. So it's like, yeah, everybody like, it's cool, and I don't want to meet him like on a. Listen, I met some celebs on like, hey, this is my man such and such. I would love to be like in a working environment or whatever. Or look, I'm cool with just being a fan.
That's the homie, bro. I introduced. Let me call him real quick. Tell him something. I'm. I feel you, bro. He is. I feel like Will Smith is really the epitome of that movie star, of that entertainment. Same thing with you. When I was younger, I'm watching Fresh Prince, and that's partially developing my charisma, seeing how he interacts. I mean? He has hood homies, he has smart homies, he has other ethnicities, and he's
cool.
Still himself, but just different kind of. And I think that has always been even one of my goals of how to be able to fit in all the rooms but still be yourself. Yeah, and that's what I would say about Will. He is, bro, like, he's an alchemist. He's a mental scientist. There, you know what I'm saying? Not to get too deep into the universe of how all that works, but he knows how to bring thoughts and ideas into this reality. You know what I mean? And to say that in the most simplest way. All the things, it would be really cool if, or man, what if we... Bro knows how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's by believing in himself, being himself, studying it, but also really buckling down on his craft. And really, he believes all this stuff. Bro, I've seen him on set working the longest day ever. One of the offices, we were at the Sony Studios in Culver City. He was on set all day, sitting with the editor. Editor looking at me like, yo, can you tell him to... No.
Yes.
You know? And then, but later, walking to the car, tired, but somebody who works there, walks up to ask for a picture, autograph. You would think he was fresh and just woke up. Oh yeah, what's up? No problem. And it's just his awareness, bro. Like, he lives on a totally different level of life, but is humble enough and makes you think he lives right here on the same pace with you. Like,
no, I'm fanning out listening. I'm fanning out listening.
Bro, and it's like him, the whole team. He has a great team around him. Like, people, everybody's there for a common goal. They understand. And you talk about humble pie. Like, I could think the world of myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a Will's team. So humble. Everything you think you did. Say, hey, no, I got that. You said we gonna go to the where? Okay, let's. Hey, team, we gonna get this. I need to call who or. And when you represent business for him outside of the office or whenever, like, hey, bro, it's like on the Lakers in the early 2000s. Like, no, I got Kobe and Shaq, bro. What you need? Like, I'm part of the team. We get championships. Like, I'm not about to be the reason why we don't win a championship. And so you step your game up. Also, I got to order books for him. That's one of my responsibilities, what he want to read. So I was able to kind of skip the line a lot on information because I would also read what he would read. And times where we would have little moments if we would complete whatever we're doing, but maybe we had like a 30-second block of we're just still walking somewhere. I would just try to pick his brain real quick. Like, hey, so in The Alchemist, when Santiago turns into wind, is that like he's becoming one with the universe? And like, what do you think about that or what? And just get a quick little tidbit and just try to take as much as I could from each interaction or every experience when I could ask a question as opposed to just getting done, whatever the work was.
That's dope, dog.
Yeah, but then like you say, like I believe in myself. I know I'm going somewhere.
Right.
This is just a step in that direction, and humbly, it's not about me right now. Like I'm here to, if I do my job to the best of the ability, the skills that I learn will translate later into something when it's my turn. It's not my turn right now, you know. And that was
I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Like even by myself when I'm working with people and stuff like I don't think I'm like a jealous person. I've never been like in that like care if somebody books something. It's like I celebrate whatever, but like picking up information. Like to me, it's like I've always looked at that like real key. You know what I mean? So it's like every job I was at, even when I was doing the shows like non-scripted shows.
Yeah, I remember back Hell Date.
All that shit. Hell Date, Hood Jason, any other the non-scripted shows I would do. To me, it came so naturally, like learning different things. But I'm like in the edit bay. I'm like, all right, I need to learn how to edit from him, his perspective. I want to learn how to produce.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was like, I'm in these jobs. That's why my mentality was kind of off. But when I got the job working on Marlon, I remember telling my manager, like I said this last episode, like, they was like, you got you for 3 seasons. In my mind, it's almost like an athlete. You want me to stay here 3 seasons? I only need the information for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Because now I'm learning this to build something for me. And 3 seasons, like, I'm doing all this for you.
Facts.
And so when I'm working, anytime I'm writing on the show, that's probably like my detriment. I'll give you my all, right? But at the same time, I'll be like, Lord, am I pushing my overall goal aside to make this show great? And I know I got goals over here to build my show. So do I have all the information from here, right? Can I, you know what I mean? Because when my time is, I feel like I have a catalog of information of things I picked up on these different shows.
That's a good perspective. I totally agree.
Cause like you went from, to me, like, yo, young dude, dog, smart, like LA, dog, just LA, like, dog.
Man, I'm so grateful for the environment I was able to grow up in, for the homies that I was able to grow up with, for the homies that I still have, and just being celebrated for being yourself. I think I'm really big on authenticity and just really being you, because you're gonna have to fine tune it. You know, you're gonna have to, you know, chip off some of the edges, let go, but no one else can be you. You know what I'm saying? And we have to, you know what I'm saying, word transmute, which is, you know what I'm saying, to grow into, to change it, but like you're gonna have to evolve into it, but it's always you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to just give up yourself and just put on this mask to fit in. You know what I mean? You can do that and fit in, but you're gonna burn out. That's not you. Like you can't keep doing that. So you're gonna have to go through the phases of feeling uncomfortable, feeling sad, feeling frustrated, feeling not enough, all of that, to figure out kind of what's my wave, like what's the frequency that I move at.
From the position that I met you at, from the position you're in now, what do you think the biggest thing you like, yo, I learned this probably the most, or like what do you think?
Damn. You said the biggest thing I learned?
Yeah, because let's just talk about it. You go from I met you as an assistant, and now you got a book coming out.
Yeah. I mean, just
real estate.
believe.
Listen, you went from tying the homie shoes finna do something great to, you know, I hear you ready, real estate mogul, business mogul, to like the book coming out.
Off top, the goal was always bread. You know what I'm saying? I could pull up my 12th grade graduation photo, high school, and my quote is "God first, get money, and don't stop." So I want.
Why is your quote aggressive? Why is it God first, get money? Don't. Why is it God first, get some money?
You can read it however you choose to read it.
I used to take shots with Tony. Anytime Tony take a shot, he's like, "You ready?" Everybody, he take a shot. He's like, "You ready?" Every time we go out, you ready? God first, get money. Huh?
A lot of people like to give toast before a shot. Is that like a prayer before you eat? Like we want our alcoholness to.
Yeah, it's like, let's say something positive. Okay. Yeah, because we about to get out of here.
You about to be nothing about, and then okay.
So look, tell me about the book you got coming out. You just told me the other day. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man. Look,
bro.
This how organized you are. Because I want people to understand. Like, Les got his shit together, right? Les was like, yeah, man. I'm working on a book. So in my mind, you have an idea, right? You in the brainstorm phase. Maybe you got you have things written down. Let's pull out his book back. Like, yeah, a copy of the book. And then look, he was like, yeah, just for reference, like a whole book. I was like, oh, it's done. Yeah, man, just wanted to see it for myself before I published it. I just wanted to print like this so visually I could attain, because I read a book called Attaining Visuals. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's by a guy named Nipsey. I was like, oh, okay. So tell me about the book.
Yeah, I got you. You know what they talk about, you know, traditional values removed, real ones move in silence or getting it done. And I just I took time from. I have a lot of different homies. You know what I'm saying? From
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In the city who might wear certain colors to homies who wear full suits and ties at work, every ethnicity.
To your big Texas homie.
to my big Texas homie. You know, and I found out that we all essentially have the same conversations. You know what I'm saying? When I'm sitting with you and we keep it real, you might be vulnerable about something. We all trying to figure it out. We all trying to improve in whatever way we choose to open up about that and say it. And a lot of times, you know, we give advice from our ego for just wanting to be right. Sometimes we actually have something pivotal to say. And I just wanted from things that I naturally was always studying and reading. Man, I used to watch all Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. I used to read all the authors that went on there because they're talking about the invisibles of life and how to get it. You know what I'm saying? Not just how to go make money. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I was able to touch some paper. So I wasn't just, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't just going after bread. Once all right, but I know how to get money. Like, what's about the other stuff? Because you funny, dog. Yo, big, you funny, dog.
This is authentically heavy, dog. I watched you tie a nigga's shoe. And then it was all like, you all like, stack, okay, cool. It's never like nothing but like humility from you, bro. Like, so it's like a smile of like, you deserve all that shit, bro. Like when your book come out, it's gonna do amazing because everything you touch, like literally, you know what I mean?
Thank you, bro. And so the book is I've read, you name it, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of those books are not something I'm just gonna pass on because the average person, you know, reading can be discouraging. You gonna read a word you don't know. How many times you look a word up before you're like, all right,
before you just make it up yourself?
Yeah,
like, man, they keep fucking with me. You ever feel like a book fucking with you? Exactly, this book, I turn this whole right back in.
They do this on purpose. They're trying to discourage me from learning this. Like, and so I really just wanted to put these actual factuals, these tidbits about self-knowledge, because a lot of, I feel, our angst, our issues, our struggles, it comes from we don't really know ourselves, you know, or we do, but we don't know how to act on that, how to express it. So that's what I really want to touch on, you know. So I'm starting off in the book, we're talking about inner voice, just how you understand yourself. I've read it from the hard to digest words, and I've translated it into a very digestible form. From inner voice, you know, mind, body, spirit, how to put those are like a 3-part operating system: mind, body, spirit. How you put all that together. You know, the value of building a foundation. A lot of what you're talking about with me is me building my foundation. Because if you look at real estate, if you look at any commercial sky rises, whatever city, whatever state you live in, before they start going up to build super high, they start going down because you got to dig deep to be able to support that structure. And so a lot of my early life was what I felt building my foundation in however ways I could learn that. And so from my life skills, from homie experiences to whatever, I also put that in the book. So it's not just a how to do something. This is an example of how to do something. This is the way I experienced it. And then even giving you questions to answer. Because I'm not telling you, hey, you need to do this. I'm giving you an example and saying, if you understand yourself better, you would know what to pick. So I'm not telling you what to pick. I'm asking you questions or giving you information so you can do that. And my brand that I'm building is The Homie. And so my perspective is I'm coming from the perspective of a homie, where it's like, yeah, bro, like, what's up? Talk to me. Like how and I'm writing the book as if we were a homie. This is what I would tell you. The same way I talk to Sid, I'm talking to you, whoever the reader is, you know. And so that's the book. And then later, first half is really self-knowledge, understanding yourself better, and about that. And the second half of the book is, if you walk in this path, these are some things you're going to encounter. I don't care, man, woman, whatever. And for example, I have a chapter called Spiritual Bait and Repeated Themes. And so with the universe.
Listen, all the young girls is like 25 to 35, they all doing this right now.
Oh, hey, yo, my homegirl, she just put me on that little.
Dog. It's a bunch of women from like, I feel like 25, 35 that do this. Listen, I remember being at a show in Boston real quick, and this young black girl, I said something funny, and she said, I said, what are we doing? She was like, no, that's like, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we laugh.
The way you express that is that's funny. Yeah, so spiritual bait and repeated themes. And so one of the ways that you advance in the universe, you know what I'm saying, is what's called spiritual bait. Meaning you say, hey, I'm done. Let's say, for example, you know what I'm saying, sushi is bomb, but let's say you done eating sushi, right? You're like, I don't eat sushi no more. That's a wrap. Okay. So the universe is not just gonna never bring sushi around you. They're gonna start bringing it around you to whoever you dating, your homies. It's like, hey, bro, let's go get some sushi. It's like, damn, all the sushi coming up. And the way that you show the universe that you done is you don't indulge. It's not that it don't come to you anymore. And so that's the bait. The bait is the sushi to see, like, let's say sushi is bad for your system. You get, you got stomachache when you eat sushi. They're going to put the sushi in front of you to say, yo, you said you done with it, right? And so either you going, no, I'm done. And so you go to the next. Exactly. Or you're going to eat it. And that's the repeated theme where it's like, oh, so you're going to go through a theme of your stomach getting hurt. And that can translate into relationships, getting money, having fun, anything. And so it's the idea, just trying to explain some tidbits of, if you say you done with this, or you try to wonder, like, why is this a theme of my life? We all have themes that continue to come up. And it's like, yo, why is that? It's repeated. And so it's for you to figure that out. But part of learning that and getting past that is you don't take the bait. So I'm just trying to.
Where's his Instagram? Is it at left?
It's at TheHomieLB. Nah, but I feel I watch podcasts, I have conversations, and I think everybody comes from their lane, and this just happens now to be my lane, and I want to have these conversations that just have people understand themselves better, but understand this journey that we all on.
I think your book, The Homie, is perfect.
Well, I'm the homie. The book is If I Were Your Homie.
Correct me. Yeah.
Yes,
It's going to be the theme of the episode. Remind me we got to do thumbnails for Taylor. This is going to be a thumbnail. If I Were Your Homie.
Yeah, yep. That's because it's pretty much saying I am the homie, and if I were your homie, this is what we talk about.
Go ahead, Leo. Last dog. It's like you had training. It's like you read a book on PR. I'm like, boom, your sound bites are perfect.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. But see, now you talking about the journey. After Will Smith, where did I work?
Where did you work?
CAA.
Talk your shit.
Drop that. Creative Arts Agency. What's up?
Listen, yeah.
And so
you the black, what's the show from back in the day?
Entourage.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Boom, yeah.
Hey, side note, that is what made me want to get into entertainment.
That show.
Watching Entourage.
Wow.
Because I'm trying to think.
You know Chris Spencer?
Yeah.
His wife cast the first couple seasons of it.
She did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Shout out to Chris Spencer's wife.
Yeah,
and Chris.
Vanessa Spencer.
Watching that, I watched that in high school. I started sneaking to comedy clubs when I was 16.
Oh, word.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was even cool with you and a lot of other comedians. All I could do was stay in the green room because I wasn't allowed to be in the comedy club. So when y'all come back, you be like, what you think about my set? Well, let's talk about it because all I could do was listen. But seeing the idea of, I didn't know that entertainment, even now, mind you, I have homies, a few homies who, maybe somebody's dad is somebody or their friend does something. But the idea of having a job in entertainment where you get to be cool or like your boy is on. See, now that's very much LA. Even though, we're in high school, somebody's on to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's dunking a ball.
Or even they just
touchdown, or they just in it.
Super nice in basketball in 8th grade or football. So you get a little bit of clout outside, and you learn how to fan the flame, so to speak, And Entourage show, like, man, Vince is on. So what's the T? Got his homies who, and that's even the city growing up in LA. You have your homies with you rock with, and how do y'all use your resources to maximize whatever you're looking to do?
It just hit me. You ever met Chase?
Yeah, I'm cool with Chase.
You and Chase are a lot. Damn, it just hit me. Like, y'all a lot alike. Y'all both like golf. Like, not from LA, but that. Sydney. Yeah.
You're stupid, dog.
You know, that's disrespect, but I mean as a positive.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the description of it.
Yeah, but like
Sydney.
If you talk to Chase is going to be like, well, how can we make this idea? How can we make this happen? How can we boom? Chase will be like, an idea. All right, cool. Now, we have the resources to shoot this. We just need to, like, that's, you know what I mean? Y'all a lot alike.
To your point, we tapped in at your comedy screening the other day, and so we going to get up and play golf soon, too. That's when I talk.
I want to learn, man. They selfish, Adrian. They selfish. They all golf, And they all know they good. And I just want to learn. You know what I mean? I can't use their clubs because.
Yeah, because you 6'5".
Well, talk about it. Golf, like, I do. Here's my. You ready?
Yep,
here's my old version of like what golf should be. My daddy used to golf, old nigga, right? So like, but he liked it. And my mama would drive the cart.
So that's what you think? You think golf should be men golfing
and
women driving
it's like,
their carts?
like their bond, like they were like a date for them. Like she would enjoy, like she, you know what I mean? It's like I would love like nigga golf course with the homies, and then also be like me and my girl, like you want ride the cart, you know what I mean? No, nothing.
No, I can see that, but like. I don't know if you want your lady on the golf course. That sounds fun at first, but I don't know.
If she cool, right?
Maybe for a couple holes. You know what I mean? Maybe for like the last 5 or the first 5 or something. Because without her having an activity,
right? Oh, okay.
Her driving the cart is gonna get. Now
the first 5 is cool.
Why you hit that shot, Sydney?
Oh,
how you missed that?
Good point.
I think you should use this club, baby. Okay, got it.
I want to learn though.
I thought you were better than that. You should learn.
I got a good backswing. I tell you, I can go from here. It's just coming down.
Hitting the ball is the hard part, huh?
Well, I can hit it. Where I want it to go. Hey, shit.
They say golf is the hardest sport, most challenging sport in the world.
See, it's
That's tough for you to believe, huh?
My mind is like I can go. I want to do a couple of things, and I can only put my mind on one. Like I want to learn. Like it's gonna sound silly. Like MMA, a little bit of MMA. I get it. But like some of it, I get it. But like some of it, like it interests me. I get it. Right? I get it.
What about MMA makes you want? Like, is this a stress reliever?
Yes.
Okay, so
stress reliever and yeah, I think it's dope. Like with your hands to physically know how to like submit somebody.
So you gonna skip past boxing and go just to?
No, I'm in that. Like I like that.
But so you MMA or boxing or just fighting? Period.
I'm already liking boxing, but like MMA. Like
you said you already nice in boxing.
I like boxing.
Okay.
I've
already succeeded.
Really?
I've already succeeded past boxing. That's what I heard.
I like boxing.
Okay.
And like I'm learning, more of that. Like, but like I would like to get into like I like learning like submissions. I like that.
So you want to get to a point where like, yeah, I choked you out, but you woke up.
Yeah.
And now leave Sydney alone.
Well, not even leave Sydney alone. I think that's fascinating. Yeah.
Okay.
Like my dad used to walk around and be like, he knew pressure points. Right? So he was old, so he wouldn't like. Not that he wouldn't.
How tall was your dad?
Like 5. The guy who raised me is my dad's like 5'7", 5'9".
And that's what I'm gonna say. I feel like if your number starts with a 5 in front,
5'9", yeah,
you much more inclined to learn all this shit.
Oh, he
learn
like,
all this stuff.
Pressure point here. Like I know I say something and maybe I say something slick. And like put his thumb like somewhere where my body would like go down.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
And how? At what age did you outgrow him?
My junior year, I went from 5'9" to 6'3", and that's when the conversation about like kid.
And so I was just gonna say, could you see how the idea of I'm gonna have to learn MMA to raise this little giant?
No, he literally. Okay. He literally took me to the trunk for his Cadillac. I said, "What's in that bag?" That's will kill all that energy, basically. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm your father. It's like, bring you in this world, I'll take you out. Like, that.
Yeah. I just feel with you being 6'5", they not really gonna test you.
My dad, he didn't get
I'm talking about past that, like now, like in today's day and age. Like,
well, see, where I'm from, everybody big like me. Like, so it's like my best friend's 6'3.5", 6'4". Like, I'm not the like big guy. Like, this nigga's 6'7". You know? And I feel like I put on a lot of weight through comedy and entertainment. You know what I mean?
Put on a lot of weight through comedy entertainment.
Yeah, I feel like my natural model weight is around like 217. You feel me?
Natural model weight?
You feel me?
Okay.
I made money doing it, so we can count it. Anyway, as we wrap up, I just want to say this. I'm proud of you, bro. Like literally from knowing like you from the very beginning of meeting you and like just seeing like how of a loyal person you are. It never wavered. Even like, ups and downs and whatever personal things we go through and like your loyalty of like who you are never wavered. You feel me? And listen, to me, in my perspective, have reasons to. You know what I mean? Like when my cousin stole from me, it's like I got a reason to be like, fuck everybody. I don't trust you. My family stole from me. Yeah. But like I was able to like, not see. I feel like you an example of like you've always just been a solid ass dude and very smart, intelligent. Will give keys like you doing now. Like I'm sorry about the Bitcoin. He told me about it in the very beginning. He was like, Sydney, get in Bitcoin. And I was just like going through my shit and I was like, okay, cool. It sounded good, but it's like, Look, he's like, where my money going for the next? I can't, not right now. And and he was like, okay. And like, you ever be like he might as well say, suit yourself, nigga. Right?
You know, it's especially with situations like that. It's like, bro, it's not. I feel like a lot of people bring opportunities to people that somehow also benefits them. Or it's like, hey, bro, I got this for you. I'm gonna make this much from it. And I think sometimes, hey, bro, this don't benefit me at all. And that's just, I feel homie love, where it's like, I want my homies to win. And I think that's real whack. If you got homies and you only like you only try to gatekeep, or you don't really want them to win, or they can only advance if you get a piece of that. And I feel it's all love, bro. Like, your successes don't hinder me. Man, you know what I'm saying? But see, that's what I want to push, like, with my brand of the homie. Like, this is what it's about. You can do whatever whatever wave you want to be on, but this is what I'm on, like.
And still be successful.
It's enough for everybody to eat, bro. When you eat, it don't take food off my plate, like, because we talk about authenticity. Can't nobody be Sydney better than Sydney. Can't nobody be me better than me, you know? And so if we can all encourage that from each other and share the gems that we have, then we all win. And it's way more fun, you know what I'm saying, for us all to be out the country on a yacht lit than me, you just sending me pictures like, hey, Les, look. And I'm like, oh, cool, man. I know I could never afford that because of choices that I made, and you told me about how I could have been there, but I didn't. So, damn. You know, where it's like, oh, yeah, okay, bro, I see you. Or actually, hey, yo, my flight gets in tomorrow, so I'll see you in a minute, you know, but we, you know what I'm saying, for us all to win. It's for us all.
Hey, Les, I'm sure a lot of people would watch this and be like, damn, I wish he was my homie. We'll get the book, because it's called
If I Were Your Homie.
Hey, that was my attempt at a drop. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I appreciate you being here. I love you, dog.
Man, I love you too, bro.
Hey, thank y'all. Subscribe, follow the page, watch the special. It's doing well. Please, the link is in the description. His book is in the description. When it come out, we're going to have him back. I appreciate you, dog. I believe in you. You know what I mean? We both come from old daddies. It's been another episode of My Cup is Full. Peace.
I mean, it's less of a podcast and more real life conversations with Sidney Castillo. Look, time is of the essence. I found out the hard way. Started a podcast cause I got a whole lot to say. Dealing with this anxiety got me moving different. Whole life I knew something was off. I knew I wasn't tripping.